Ladies and gentlemen, some breaking news has been coming in out of recently, in which the pseudo top G, Mr. Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan Tate, are now being under criminal investigation by Florida's Attorney General. And more than likely it stems from one of the victims up in Romania who resides up in the Miami area. That's what gave them more probable grounds for them to actually do the criminal investigation. So it's some extreme juiciness, ladies and gentlemen, as to what has been going on mainly up in these YouTube social media rumble streets. Juicy. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a news clip from CBS News up in Miami, Miami's local CBS station, basically showing, actually presenting the news that both of the Tates are filing a restraining order against one of their American accusers, in which they accuse him of, the EPAR and, the scrambled egg trafficking, all of the imprisonments, illegal imprisonment they mainly have been going on in regards to their situation up in Romania. And now the Tates are filing a restraining order against that particular accuser that actually had the crimes mainly took place up in Romania. So let's see where we could actually find and go full screen, and let's actually go dig into the news right here.
And off the top at 5:30, caught off guard, a South Florida woman now concerned after seeing the Tate brothers arrive here in South Florida. The woman has made some serious allegations against them. Good evening. I'm Jim Barry.
And I'm Naja Sherman. Thank you for joining us. CBS News Miami's Ted Scouten joins us from Hollywood with what this woman claims happened to her. Ted, you spoke to her attorney.
Yeah, and her attorney said at this point her client is frightened. That's how she described it today. But there's a lot of legal wrangling going on in this case. Both sides right now calling themselves the victim, and both sides also saying that they feel intimidated. When Tate brothers Andrew and Tristan arrived in South Florida Thursday morning, a woman who accused them of attempting to sex traffic her to Romania, known as Jane Doe, was caught off guard.
It's a mystery to us. To be honest, it was frightening to Jane Doe.
Danny Pinter is her attorney from the National Center on Sexual Exploitation. Just before landing, the brothers filed a temporary restraining order against Jane Doe, saying uncovered text messages show credible threats.
Oh, wow. So that's where they saw the lawsuits that was e-filed. Literally February 27th at 10:32 in the morning. With their attorney, Joseph McBride, licensed in New York State.
Of violence, intimidation, or harm. Doe's attorney denies the allegations. The brothers already have a defamation suit against her. She's countersuing and Thursday asked the court to put a hold on the defamation case.
She asked the court to stay the case. That would just pause the case until the criminal case was resolved. Right. But she was unsuccessful. The court denied her motion.
The brothers are influencers with millions of followers and former world kickboxing champions. They returned to the U.S. after authorities lifted their travel restrictions. In December, a Romanian court ruled the case accusing them of human trafficking cannot go to trial because of some irregularities. However, it remains open. Andrew is also charged with rape. He claims they're the victims.
I think my brother and I...
So technically they're still ongoing. The trial's still ongoing. It just hasn't been fully finalized and officially closed as of yet. But still a long way to go.
Largely misunderstood. There's a lot of opinions about us, a lot of things that go around about us on the internet.
In their defamation suit, they claim Jane Doe is a serial extortionist and blackmailer who preys on successful men, and that Andrew and Tristan are the latest victims in her trail of terror and destruction.
Jane Doe argued that this civil case was filed in an attempt to intimidate her as a witness, and she has now been asked to provide additional testimony in the Romanian case and feels afraid to do so because of this lawsuit and other intimidation by the Tate brothers.
And Jane Doe says that she is going to appeal that decision regarding the stay. Meanwhile, her attorney has 3 days to file a response to that request for a temporary restraining order from the Tates. We did reach out to the Tates attorney today. They said that they were not available for comment today. Live in Hollywood, Ted Scouten, CBS News, Miami.
Juicy! Very very interesting stuff, y'all. Very, very interesting stuff, ladies and gentlemen. And due to the fact that, Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis actually just got word of Andrew Tate landing up in the South Florida. He gone way gung ho. Him and his task force and his administration just made it very, very clear to the general public that he does not want Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate up in his state based on all the allegations that are listed mainly up against him. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now you're seeing what's basically happened and like what caused all this stuff. You see why the AG actually mainly did that opened up a criminal investigation against the Tates. We're gonna find out why. Cause and effect.
Two controversial figures under investigation in Florida shortly after arriving from Europe, where they're also facing legal trouble. 7's Danielle Garcia is live at the news desk with those details. Danielle.
Alex, Andrew Tate and his brother are right-wing social media personalities. They're also accused rapists and sex traffickers. Now they're back in the U.S. and back under criminal investigation.
Shout out to ABC's local station up in Miami, by the way. Excuse me.
Long years they kept me in that jail.
Days after arriving in Fort Lauderdale, right-wing social media influencer and accused rapist Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan now being investigated by Florida's Attorney General.
It's about the fact that she belongs to him and the intimate parts of her body belong to him because they're in a relationship.
The Florida investigation comes after Governor Ron DeSantis made this comment.
No, Florida is not a place where you're welcome.
Tate went on a
juicy
podcast Monday called the PBD Podcast and responded.
Yeah, PBD Podcast is the podcast that is ran and hosted by Patrick Bet-David, who resides in Fort Lauderdale, by the way, who runs Valuetainment.
I don't know why Ron's answer wasn't, he has an American passport. The judicial system in Romania, which I know absolutely nothing about, decided to let him fly, and he's flown to his home country. As far as we're concerned, he's broken no laws. Instead, what he did was say, we're going to get our attorney general to try and find some laws he's broken and wreck this man.
Actually, mind you, he's still, the trial's still ongoing up in Romania. I just wanted to actually try to set this out there. It's not fully over. It's not fully closed as of yet.
The pair were arrested in Romania in 2022 for charges of trafficking minors and forming an organized criminal gang. The two brothers arrived in South Florida last week after being allowed to leave Romania.
And our prosecutor recently decided, because we have no active indictment in court, to let us go.
Now in a statement on social media,
Okay. This is the Florida AG, James Uffmeyer, in which he states last week, I directed my office to work with our law enforcement partners to conduct a preliminary inquiry into Andrew and Tristan Tate. Based on a thorough review of the evidence, I've directed the Office of Statewide Prosecutors to execute search warrants and issue subpoenas in a now active criminal investigation into the Tate brothers. Ooh, it stemmed from that case up in Romania, boy. And I tell y'all, one of the alleged victims, the accusers, is an American from Miami, Florida.
Attorney General James Uffmeyer says he has directed his office to execute search warrants and issue subpoenas in the investigation. The two are also being investigated for sexual assault by British authorities, where they have also denied wrongdoing. It's not clear yet why the brothers were allowed to leave Romania, but a lawyer representing 4 alleged victims in the UK told the BBC that President Donald Trump's administration is, quote, interfering with due process.
I know nothing about that.
The brothers, who have dual U.S. and British...
Oh, my God. I tell y'all. They want to actually try and get in and fit in with Donald Trump so bad, man. I tell y'all, man. And they both have black, too. And yet they still under criminal investigation by all the stuff they did, man. They ain't protecting them at all, man. They want them gone.
Citizenship have denied the allegations.
Andrew Tate was at one point suspended from all major social media platforms, but was reinstated to X after Elon Musk took control of the platform. At the news desk, I'm Danielle Garcia, 7 News.
All right, well, what I'll say about in this case here if Andrew Tate is cleared on all counts in all countries, mark my words, there's going to be like a lot more men that's going to be coming by and literally go dig themselves and go dig into the deep rabbit hole of the manosphere. And a lot of people that actually support Andrew Tate will literally hail him as a martyr. That is a big if. It's a big if, mind you, ladies and gentlemen. If he's cleared on all counts, okay, we're in all countries, okay? Because once the situation in Romania is done, he would have to be tried in the UK for the crimes that, he's accused of over there as well. All right? Both Andrew and Tristan. All right? So, we'll see how this whole thing plays out. This is actually a very, very interesting and juicy story. And I'll definitely keep my ear down to the streets to see what happens definitely weeks from now. No more further talk, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Paul from their Chronicles is signing out. Deuces.